It was a cold Sunday morning, January 12, 2003, when the world woke up to devastating news.
We begin this morning with
Maurice
singer
Gibb,
Maurice Gibb,
one-third of the
who died
legendary
during
Bee
the night
Gees, died suddenly during emergency surgery. He was just 53 years old. Fans gathered in grief. Flowers were laid. Songs were played. A voice that had quietly powered one of the greatest music acts of all time was gone. He wasn't always the face in front, but he was the pulse. The harmonizer. The heart. And when his beat stopped, millions felt the silence. But before the heartbreak came the heat. The glittering madness of disco. The Bee Gees weren't just a band, they were a movement. And Maurice? He was the man behind the groove. From small clubs in Australia to sold-out arenas worldwide, Maurice helped define a sound, a generation, and a movement that would live forever in musical history. The sound behind the spotlight. Long before the disco balls and flashing lights, there was a boy with a bass guitar, a quiet grin, and a gift for music. Maurice Gibb wasn't just born into harmony, he became the architect of it. While others took the mic, Maurice took control of the sound. He was the unsung genius of the Bee Gees, crafting melodies, arranging harmonies, and filling every gap with music most people never realized he was creating. Disco takes flight. Then came disco. Loud. Bright. Unstoppable. With the release of Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees became global icons overnight. And Maurice? He was right there in the engine room, driving the sound that made the world dance. Millions sang their songs, but few knew Maurice was playing nearly every instrument in the studio, producing, arranging, building the hits layer by layer. Behind the glitter, the struggle within. But with fame came emptiness. Maurice, though surrounded by fans and fortune, began to crumble privately. He turned to alcohol, not for celebration, but for survival. He joked about it in public. But in reality, Maurice was drinking to escape the shadows, of fame, of identity, of feeling like the forgotten Gibb. At one point, he was downing a bottle of vodka a day. The band continued, but Maurice was fighting for his life behind the scenes. Rebirth, music and marriage. Then came a lifeline, Yvonne. His second wife, his calm in the storm. She helped him break the bottle's grip, and together they built a quiet life away from the chaos. Clean, focused, and determined, Maurice dove back into music with a new sense of purpose. The Bee Gees would rise again in the 90s, and this time, he was ready. The unexpected goodbye. In January 2003, Maurice complained of stomach pain. It seemed minor, something treatable. But hours later, he was in emergency surgery for a twisted intestine. During surgery, Maurice went into cardiac arrest. He never woke up. The news stunned the world. The beat behind the Bee Gees was gone. Maurice Gibb legacy and net worth. At the time of his death, Maurice Gibb had amassed a net worth of $90 million, but his wealth was more than money. He left behind decades of timeless music, an irreplaceable voice in pop history, and a legacy that beats on in every harmony, every melody, every quiet chord that once echoed in his hands. Maurice Gibb didn't crave the spotlight, but he carried it. He didn't demand attention, but he deserved it. And though the stage is empty now, his music plays on. A quiet soul. A giant legacy. Forever a Bee Gee. If this tribute moved you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of cultural icons. What's your favorite Maurice Gibb moment or Bee Gees memory? Let us know in the comments.